Hi everyone, it's Linda Canase with LyndaCreates, and I'm trying a totally different project today, but let me show you something. My little ghost is holding a light-up candelabra, and the lights are from Pear Blossom Press, and it's wired through the ghost, and it just adds such a neat, spooky feel. And you'll see the interesting things I used for the face part. But it's a fun Halloween light up project. I can't wait to share it with you. So take a look and see how I made this. I thought I'd give it a try. I decided I'm going to use a base and I cut a hole in it. I'm using a straw, just a little handful of batting. This is regular batting, it's not wool. I am going to use the Pear Blossom Press Easy Lights, and this is going to be fun. I'm also using the Pear Blossom Press World's Best Foam Tape. So to explain about these Easy Lights, and let me show you, it comes with a separate battery, so you want to check it before you go through all this work. It has these 3 little lights. I'll put it against the black background. Okay, so you could see them there. When you press it, they light up. So let me go ahead and get started. So like I said, I die cut these circles. I die cut 4 circles. There's 2 here. And then I just took my straw and I laid it on top of the black cardstock and drew a circle where I wanted it. And then I used the craft knife and cut out the circle. And the only reason I'm sticking them together is to make them stronger. You don't need that for right now. You're going to be working with the one with the hole in it. And I cut a piece of, cut a straw down to 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches. And then at about ½ inch, I cut the straw in half. So let me show you right here. So I cut it halfway through, and then opposite side of that, if you roll it around down here, I cut a little notch in it. Then what you're going to want to do just put the lights through there, and I'm just going to let it hang loose for now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have it come up through the bottom of the straw, the part that has the little notch cut out of it. And as I go up, I'm going to tip this part back so it has a part to come up. So I want it to come up out of that opening. Okay. Now, I'll explain the reason for this straw. It adds structure, but it also protects the wires from the needle when you're felting. I also cut another piece of straw at approximately 1 1/4 inches. And I took a piece of regular tape. You could use washi, you could use whatever. I am going to, it's a little tricky, but you want to make sure not damage the wires. So I'm going to pull it down, not all the way out, just down enough so that they're hidden into the straw. So I have the batting. I have a teeny tiny little rubber band, or if you could find a little rubber band, that'll be great. If not, you could tape it, but I use a little rubber band to hold it in place. And like I said, you want to keep your fingers away from it. Like I said, the trick is not to damage the wire in there and to shape it. Just put another layer down. The trick too is that you want to shape it as you go, adding a little more roving as you work it. There's a shape so far. I'm going to start closing off this arm, or at least shaping it a little bit better. So this is a ghost body right now. I'm going to add the other arm in here and get it to be, I want the back end that's going to connect to be wispy and the front end a little bit more solid looking. I'm getting to the point now where I want to make sure I cover up the straw at the bottom. So I'm just going to add a little piece of wispiness to the front. And I want to make sure and blend it in. And anytime you feel you stab the straw, test the lights to make sure they're still working, that you didn't hit any wires. So I'm going to add a little bit more wisp on the back side as well, and just so that everything's hidden when it stands up. I'm going to do the ghost's face. Now here's the thing. Like I told you, I thrifted this wool roving, is why I'm doing this project, to test it. So I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money for the black roving, a whole bunch of black roving just for the eyes. So I'm going to borrow some. Since wool is just hair from a sheep, I decided to get hair from my big black dog. So now, if you don't have a black dog, you could always use black yarn. You really only need a tiny, tiny bit, and this might even be too much. This is definitely way too much. And I know that looks like a lot right there, but we're going to condense it. And I know I said I'm keeping the hair up here to look like lashes, but that is way too long. Okay, so there are my ghost eyes, but I also wanted to add a little bit of pink cheeks. And now I, again, didn't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of pink wool roving. So what I'm going to use, 2 inches of this pink to make the cheeks. And I'm just going to turn it into a little ball again. I'm just experimenting and having fun. So there's the one cheek. The thing to note that I realize is that it doesn't have the soft finish that the wool roving does. It tends to get a little harder, but that's okay. But I wanted to move on to the armature here. Take my trusty X-Acto blade and undo the tape that's holding it on there. Now this part, you want to be really careful because you just did all this work to make sure you didn't cut the wires, and you don't want to cut the wires now. And the other thing too to remember is that there's nothing keeping those wires from slipping back through. So pull them up. Now, let me show you what we're going to do with these. So I'm going to take a bit of washi tape, and this just so happens to be the only black washi tape I had, so it's going to have to do. Well, I'm going to shape the lights first. The black tape is just for looks. I'm just wrapping it. So what you're trying to do is cover up the wire without covering up the light. And trying to make it look as smooth as possible. I don't know. It's a ghost candelabra. Who knows what it's supposed to look like? So there's my kind of grungy looking candelabra. I want the ghost to be holding it. So I have my glue gun heating up in the background, and I'm going to start assembling this. I need the black background. I have my ghost, and it's working. See, look at this. I'm going to assemble this. I have to work the wire around the world's best foam tape. Okay, so I attached that down, and I'm trying to use up as much wire space, excess wire, as possible, because what I'm going to do is have this sit on top of that. And I want to keep an open space in the center there for the ghost, the straw to attach. And now I'm going to hot glue the straw down. I want to keep the wire hidden as much as possible. So now the ghost is drifting by, and you could see some of the straw back here. I'm going to cover that up with a little more wool felting, but right now, okay, I want to show how this looks. So that is my second attempt at wool felting. It was so much fun putting the light in there. I do need to fix up a little bit by adding more felting to hide this part of the straw, but the fun part is that the bottom is supposed to be, well, I don't know, I would think ghosts. The bottom would be wispy. That makes sense. The light part is really fun. I'll put like I'll put a sticker here or something to show where to press. I took a little white pen and I wrote boo right there. So I guess you could press here. There's my little ghost. I hope you enjoyed that video of my second attempt at needle felting. I want to thank you so much. Please visit my website at LyndaCreates. That's Lynda with a Y, Lynda, LyndaCreates.com for a lot more different projects. I do paper crafting and embroidery and stamping and just all kinds of different things. I'm trying different things. And please like and subscribe for a lot more different projects. Some of them will be testing something out for the first time. It may not be perfect, but they're fun ideas. And I want to thank Pear Blossom Press for these awesome lights and for their fantastic foam tape. It really is amazingly good. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!